Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I am your host. Today, Goldilocks is sharing very important information from the World Trade Organization and what they have done and are doing to assist Iraq into going international. Then Goldilocks is sharing some very important information coming out of Iraq directly from the CBI as well. Let's not take any longer. Let's jump right into it. Goldilocks is sharing this, stating it's leveling the playing field. This is relative to the World Trade Organization. Who was it that several years ago, when asked by a journalist if this particular gentleman, would do something about the devaluation of currencies, he said, "We will level the playing field." Well, folks, that was a journalist asking then President Trump about the devaluing of currencies, and President Trump replied, this was a thing in 2017, 2018, he replied, regarding currencies, "We will level the playing field." So Goldilocks is sharing this, that the World Trade Organization aims to improve the situation of what's called least developed countries, or LDCs, by providing them, the least developed countries, with special treatment, including greater market access, flexibility in implementing the World Trade Organization rules. Targeted technical assistance means giving these least developed countries technical assistance to build their trade capacity in the world, and a dedicated forum to discuss those countries, those least developed countries' trade challenges. What is a least developed country? Folks, Iraq is classified as a least developed country, and there are many others. But let's talk about Iraq. So when the World Trade Organization speaks of aiming to improve the situation of least developed countries with technical assistance and market access globally, think of Iraq. This particular method that the World Trade Organization uses to allow least developed countries like Iraq to better their integrated systems into the global trade system, it also allows them to benefit from the advantages of accessing other countries around the world for trade. This is achieved through provisions like what are called special and differential treatment within the World Trade Organization agreements. Have you ever had special or differential treatment? Or have you witnessed someone else getting special and differential treatment? Have you pulled up in your nice vehicle at the traffic light, and then another vehicle pulls up next to yours, and it be a Bentley or a Rolls Royce? It gets more eyes, more special differential treatment maybe than maybe your vehicle that's not a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or something expensive. Imagine pulling up to valet parking. That Rolls Royce may get special or differential treatment. Iraq and other countries similar that are least developed countries, when they enter into the World Trade Organization, they now get special and differential treatment. But before then, of getting that treatment, they get access to begin training to receive that treatment, that special and differential treatment. See, but Iraq is considered a least developed country, so the World Trade Organization needs to bring them up. There are key ways Goldilocks is sharing whereby the World Trade Organization supports a least developed country like Iraq by helping them with market access. Think of global market access to goods and services and being able to allow Iraq's goods and services to go beyond its own borders. See, with market access, developed countries offer least developed countries preferential access to their market by lowering tariffs and removing trade barriers on their exports. So developed countries like the United States and others, may say Russia, China, and others, will be able to offer Iraq, which is a least developed country, offer them preferential access and preferential treatment. Also, key ways the World Trade Organization supports least developed or LDCs like Iraq is special and differential treatment with agreements that include provisions to allow a least development country like Iraq to implement certain rules at a slower pace, which basically it's like a mentor and protege relationship, where a larger country that's the developed country like the U.S. and others will be the mentor, Iraq will be the protege. Also, the World Trade Organization assists least developed countries like Iraq with technical assistance, providing training and support to Iraq to help them to be able to graduate from a least developed country up to a more developed country and getting preferential treatment. Also, they get aid for trade initiative, whereby it encourages developed countries to provide financial aid to help least developed countries like Iraq to develop its infrastructure and capacity necessary to trade more effectively throughout the world. You see how the World Trade Organization offers this assistance to Iraq to help them come up, to get preferential treatment. This is exactly why Iraq has been qualified to enter into the World Trade Organization, because this is a part of what Iraq has been going through to get preferential treatment. Also, what this allows is a dedicated committee with the World Trade Organization focusing on discussing issues specifically related to Iraq and their trade concerns. This is from subcommittees on least developed countries to help them. Capacity building. Least developed countries like Iraq may still lack the necessary skills and infrastructure to fully utilize the trade opportunities provided by the World Trade Organization. However, it's like an all hands on deck to help Iraq to get preferential treatment, and they've qualified. Overall, the World Trade Organization aims to facilitate least developed countries' integration, like Iraq, into the global trading system, which increases the value of the dinar. By providing special treatment and support to Iraq, All the challenges still remain, Goldilocks saying, in ensuring effective implementation and addressing power imbalances to maximize benefits. The World Trade Organization agreements include numerous provisions giving developing and least developed countries special rights. So Iraq will receive special rights or extra leniency. Special and differential treatment is very important, folks, to fast track a country into the global markets. Amongst these are provisions that allows countries like Iraq to receive assistance from developed countries like the U.S. and many other larger countries around the world. It allows Iraq to receive more favorable treatment within the World Trade Organization. Think of this as the World Trade Organization opening Iraq to the world. And this special differential treatment doesn't come with just an opening of the door to Iraq. Iraq had to earn it. And they have. Goldilocks is sharing this because earlier this year, we talked about the World Trade Organization changing what are called ratios and values to countries' currencies. Goldilocks has shared that the information and the process that's taking place for the special and differential treatment, next year Iraq will be placed inside these new ratios that the World Trade Organization has implemented. Goldilocks is sharing that, if you remember, Iraq is expected to finish their banking reforms by the end of December this year. And yes, they have also told us in writing not to expect a rate this year. If anyone would like to have that proof from Iraq, you're welcome to come into the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room and ask for it. We will share it with you. Because they have some things they need to finish by the end of this year. But they will be moving with the World Trade Organization the first quarter of next year, and that's from the World Trade Organization. Next year, things will be different for Iraq. Iraq meets one more time with the World Trade Organization to calculate trade ratios determined by regional meetings and market analysis taking place at the present time. Things are moving to our favor, Goldilocks is sharing, and we are getting closer to our goals. We are so far along, nothing can stop what is coming. If timetables shift, Goldilocks is sharing, I am in a good place to be able to let you know the changes as they develop. That's directly from Goldilocks. Last but not least, the CBI has announced, and I quote, this is major, folks. Goldilocks is sharing from the CBI that Iraq is now implementing a large illegal immigration reform. Actually, they've been working on this for a couple of years, but now they are taking it to the next level. Quote, no to illegal immigration. Your dignity is in your country. End quote. That is from Iraq. Goldilocks is sharing from the CBI. Illegal immigration primarily affects foreign currency exchange through the phenomenon of remittances, which is currency transactions, where undocumented immigrants send money back to their home countries. This often leads to an increase in the currency value of the receiving country due to the influx of foreign funds. However, the exact impact depends on the volume of those remittances. Key points about how illegal immigration impacts foreign currency exchange is increase in demand of a home country's currency, economic impact, fluctuations in remittances, and also potential for foreign currency manipulation. Iraq is now implementing, which has been years-long reform on illegal immigration, and they are now stepping it up. What other? has Iraq been working with in parallel on major reforms? Yes, the United States of America. Not only on anti-money laundering has Iraq been implementing anti-money laundering reforms on foreign currency with the dinar, so has the U.S. on the U.S. dollar. Not only has Iraq been implementing foreign currency reform, the United States of America as well. I had to repeat that because I wanted to sink in. Not only has Iraq been implementing digital banking, the United States as well. Not only has Iraq been implementing digital reforms at their ports, the United States of America as well. And yes, with President Trump coming back into office, not only is the United States implementing major reforms on illegal immigration, it was announced today Iraq is doing the same thing. Iraq has been working on illegal immigration moving into their country for quite some time. Deportation has been taking place for some time to protect their own people and giving dignity back to the immigrants who are being used at lower wages. In the link in the description from the CBI, it will show you that today Iraq has announced they are stepping up and locking down their borders to crack down on illegal immigration, which absolutely will affect the value of the dinar. Parallel, in conjunction, lockstep and key with the United States of America locking down their borders like we're locking down ours. Cracking down on anti-money laundering and terrorist activity for foreign currency, just like the United States has implemented as well in the month of October into the Federal Register. Are you picking up what Goldilocks is putting down that Iraq is doing step by step with the United States? Ladies and gentlemen, no coincidence Iraq is locking down their borders. No coincidence the United States is locking down its borders. It's absolutely connected to the value of the dinar and the currencies to eliminate the mass manipulation on the currencies. There's a shift that is beginning to take place. Actually, I can say it already has begun. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. We are in the midst of a great awakening, both spiritual and financial. Stay grounded. Do not allow yourself to be on those roller coasters that we know continuously come every week. It's a great time to be alive, but even better time to thrive. Make sure, again, we know that there are many things being said every week, every weekend. Stay grounded in the facts that Goldilocks is sharing. And be able to prepare yourself for your currency exchanges. You're welcome to come to the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, where myself and Wiley share with our members every day on how to prepare for the exchange with many members, meeting with wealth managers and actual bankers in preparation for their exchanges. And the banks are more than willing and able to help them. Stay grounded. Stay in love. Unconditional love. Ciao. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. GCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RV GCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.